If I turn agin me duty... And then all of a sudden, he was interrupted by a noise. I'd found one of the honest hands. Well, here at that same moment came news of another. Far away out in the marsh there arose, all of a sudden, a sound like the cry of anger, then another on the back of it, then one horrid, long-drawn scream. Well, I've got to try and replicate that. Aye! That's the cry of anger. Aye! The other one on the back of it. Then, ah! One long, drawn-out scream. Oi! 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 Aye! The rocks of the spyglass re-echoed it a score of times. Aye! 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 Wow! Oh! Ah! The whole troop of marsh birds rose again, darkening heaven with a simultaneous whir. And long after that death yell was still ringing in my brain, silence had re-established its empire, and only the rustle of the redescending birds, really fed up now, these ducks, and the boom of the distant surges disturbed the languor of the afternoon. Tom had leapt at the sound, like a horse at the spur, but Silver had not winked an eye. So all that sounded like, ah, ah. Long John's looking at Tom's like that. Long John just doing this. Hang on. Ah, ah. Dead eye like that. You know, in like a proper like psycho, just like you got it in for somewhere. Like that. He stood where he was, resting lightly on his crutch, watching his companion like a snake about to spring. John, said the sailor, stretching out his hand. Hands off, cried Silver, leaping back a yard, as it seemed to me, with the speed and security of a trained gymnast. It's another one of the Yoda moments. Get your hand off me. Backflip onto his crutch. Hands off if you like, John Silver, said the other. It's a black conscience that can make you fear of me. But in heaven's name, tell me, what was that? That, returned Silver, smiling away, but warier than ever, his eye a mere pinpoint in his big face, but gleaming like a crumb of glass. That? Oh, I reckon that'll be Alan. That's genuinely what's written. That? Oh, I reckon that'll be Alan. And at this, poor Tom flashed out like a hero. Alan! He cried. Then rest his soul for a true seaman. And as for you, John Silver, you've long been a mate of mine, but you're a mate of mine no more. If I die, the voice I'm doing now is sort of the is like the upper class Hollywood actor in the 50s who's been roped into playing an English character, but an English character who's a bit more working class. So he's kind of doing the 1950s rough approximation of a Londoner voice that seems very prevalent if you watch an old film like this. Like, I think probably the old version of Treasure Island, you'll encounter this voice more than once. So I'll do it again so you get the measure of this voice, because to be honest, it'll probably crop up a bit more often the more Toms and Allens get thrown in here. Alan, he cried, then rest his soul for a true seaman. And as for you, John Sylvie, long you've been a mate of mine, but you are a mate of mine no more. If I die like a dog, I'll die in my duty. D-O-O-T-Y. Duty. You've killed Alan, have you? Kill me too if you can, but I defies you. So Alan, I'm just imagining Alan Partridge is the person who's killed. So poor old bastard Alan has just been with the rest of the crew. And he's like, oh, what a fantastic island. You know, I can really see myself setting up Hey, fellas, what are you doing? You're all looking pretty menacing there with your gullies and your muskets. Hi, on the nose, huh? Ah! That's the end of Alan. You've killed Alan, have you? Well, you ain't my might no more, John Sylvie. Kill me too if you can, but I defies you. And with that, this brave fella turned his back directly on the cook and set off walking for the beach. But he was not destined to go far. With a cry, "Ah!" I'm proper. Like, this is quite serious, I imagine, a thing like Long John when he's got his, like, haymaker up. Long John's like that. He's always like, all right, mate, don't you worry about that. Yeah. Look, Tom, I'm telling you, I think the world of you, but I think you should join us. I don't think you should be with this squire. Well, if you kills Alan Long John, I ain't your mate no more. Kill me if you can. Long John's like that. Ah! He goes for him. With a cry, John seized the branch of a tree, whipped the crutch out of his armpit, and sent that uncouth missile hurling through the air. He's lobbed his crutch at him. It struck poor Tom point foremost, and with stunning violence, right between the shoulders, in the middle of his back. His hands flew up. He gave a sort of gasp. Calling back there to our to Blind Pew, and he's got Jim's arm. He's like, ah! Javelins his crutch at him. Forward like that. Down. Whether he were injured, much or little, none could ever tell. Like enough, to judge from the sound, his back was broken on the spot. He shook that really hard. He's bossed his back. But he had no time to recover. Silver, agile as a monkey, even without leg or crutch, was on top of him next moment, and had twice buried his knife up to the hilt in that defenceless body. From my place of ambush, I could hear him pant aloud as he struck the blows. Sorry, but this is really violent. This is fantastic. This is what we signed on for with Treasure Island. We want some pirates killing each other. We've gone from like, and then I saw a rattlesnake. And also, some trees I saw were quite nice. And then, I ain't fucking doing what you told me, Long John. Fucking come here. Jumps on him. With his knife. Panting. We're really seeing Long John now. Like that. Okay, this is it. This is what we want. And all this has happened to poor old Alan as well. Poor old Alan. Oh, please, no. Anyway. I do not know what is right. I do not know what it rightly is to faint. But I do know that for the next little while, the whole world swam away from before me in a whirling mist. Yeah, that's a violent escalation. And he's only 6. He's only 6.